A very good afternoon to all my dear students. Mr. Arpit, Tarun, Shruti, Nidhi, Aishwarya, Soumya, Tanmeet, Pratibha, all of you, a very good afternoon. And those who are saying Ananya Kumari, good morning. I think where you're staying, it might be morning there at right now. Okay, Sunil Sharma, Manish Jain, Nikita, Pratibha, all of you, a very good morning, good afternoon, students. So I hope you are equally enthusiastic for today's class as well, and you have really shown a great response. Good afternoon, children. I have read all the beautiful afternoon wishes. So good. And I hope you're sitting with your pens and papers and notebooks in hand, and you have revised your unit 1 that we have done in the previous session. First, we will be completing ascertainment of price, the topic which was left undone in the last class. After that, we'll be starting with the second unit of Sale of Goods Act today. That is your conditions and warranties. So we have n number of examples coming up where we'll be going for shopping together. We'll be purchasing the items. We'll be discussing if we have purchased something, can we return that thing? Or if we are not satisfied with our certain purchase as a buyer, what rights are available with us? Can we straight away return the products, or we can just claim the damages if the seller has not fulfilled our conditions? So all these things revolve around your chapter of conditions and warranties. But before that, there was a very small topic which was left in the first chapter. So let's complete that. After that, you can send me your queries as well for the first unit so that we are, and I hope you have seen the presentations, children. I have uploaded, even the second chapter unit also I have uploaded today itself so that you can go through it. We'll be completing it and then the weekend will be coming up. So you have 2 chapters to. All right, so we have done all these points. Property was discussed. All the points of differences also have been done. So this was the ascertainment of price. I think we discussed about goods perishing before and after agreement to sell as well. There is a very interesting descriptive question related to this section 7 and 8. So we'll try to cover that question as well today in the class. Okay, so study material is very much updated, children. Institute makes day and night efforts to keep you updated with all the latest amendments, and also all the latest descriptive questions are being added from time to time. So it is very, very important for you to do your MCQs from the study material as well, but only once you're done with the chapter. So before completing my chapter, I just jump to MCQs. I'm going to confuse myself. So it's important you complete your syllabus, you learn the things first, and then you jump to your MCQs, and descriptive questions are very, very important, those which are given in the study material. We will try to cover as much as we can in the class. Otherwise, I'll give you homework in which you have to revise and learn. And then if you have certain queries in those descriptive questions, we can take up in the next class. All right, ascertainment of price. Now, very interesting thing. We have discussed the sale of goods is also like a Indian Contract Act. We make a contract, 2 parties come into existence, buyer and seller. Seller is selling the goods, buyer is buying the goods. All my students know that barter system is not part of sale of goods. We have to pay money in order to be part of sale of goods. So how that money is to be determined? Money was very important part. Before money, the important subject matter is goods. Goods के बिना तो contract of sale of goods complete हो ही नहीं सकता. क्यों? क्योंकि sale of goods की तो बात हो रही है. किसको बेच रहे हैं हम? Property तो बेच नहीं, property means house तो बेच नहीं रहे हैं हम, building तो बेच नहीं रहे हैं, immovable property is not there. So we are selling of goods. So goods might get destroyed. What is the subject matter of goods? Specific goods, ascertain goods, unascertain. You have learned all these nouns. In descriptive questions and MCQs today, you will be answering me what category of goods it is. So after we understood that goods is the main essence of contract of sale of goods, we need to know what is the price that we have to pay for this particular sale of goods. So there are 4 different methods in which the price can be determined. Number 1 is the price is mentioned in the contract. So A sold 100 bales of cotton to B, and it was mentioned in the contract that I'll be selling you 100 bales of cotton for rupees 5,000. So what is the price? It is already determined. It is mentioned in the contract itself. A and B sat together. They fixed the price. They decided that it will be 5,000 rupees. A agreed to that. B was also satisfied, and the contract was made. So it's very, very important that the price should be one which is mentioned in the contract itself. It says this is the usual mode. This is generally how all the contracts are made. But just in case we were in a hurry and we made the agreement and we forgot to fix the price. So same example is selling the goods to B and they have not mentioned the price money in the contract. Now how the price has to be fixed? Law says you will simply pick up the second mode of fixing the price, that is the manner of fixing the price mentioned in the contract. So if I have not mentioned the price, I will tell you how the price has to be mentioned. It will be clearly stated in my contract. The manner will be stated. So what can be the manner? We might fix it at the market price. We might have told you that after making 3-4 dealings, this is the price that will be charged. Whatever manner, whatever things that they have decided in the contract, that will be the way of fixing the price. So number one method is monetary value, numerical numbers दिए हुए हैं कि हमने इतना प्राइस फिक्स कर दिया. सेकेंड में नंबर्स नहीं दिए, प्राइस नहीं बताया, मैनर बताते हो फिक्सिंग द प्राइस कि आफ्टर 5-6 से फॉर एग्जांपल आई एम टेकिंग tons of sugar from you and after 2 trucks have come, the 1 truck is still pending, then we will fix the price, what price has to be charged. So all these kind of things have to be taken care. It should be mentioned in the contract. Point number 3 is price is determined by the course of dealings between the parties. So you and me, we have been dealing from last 10 years and I have been charging, say for example, rupees 50 per bag. So you have been selling me different kind of bag of goods and let's assume bag of chocolates that you have been purchasing from me. So there was a bag of 10 chocolates, 5 rupees per chocolate. It's a perk chocolate. And I have been charging rupees 50 per bag every time from you. So now we don't have to make a fresh contract. It will be the same price as we have determined in the course of dealings. We have been dealing on a regular basis. Same price has been charged. हो सकता है, seeing the market value, I have increased the price to 52 rupees per bag. Or seeing the market value, I have reduced the price to 49 rupees per bag. So it will be somewhere around which we have been dealing on a regular basis. Clear ho gaya? Fourth method is very, very interesting and very, very important. This is the major place where a role of a chartered accountant, where a role of a lawyer comes into picture. कि अब अगर प्राइस नहीं लिखा था तो आपके पास 2 पार्टीज आई हैं एंड दे आर हैविंग अ फाइट कि मैम हरलीन कौर मैम यू आर अ सीए एंड वी वांट टू टेल यू दैट आई सोल्ड द गुड्स टू मिस्टर बी एंड वी फेल्ड टू फिक्स द प्राइस. And this B is saying that I will not pay you the price now because you did not mention the manner. You failed to mention the price also. You failed to mention the manner also. And we are dealing for the first time. Course of dealings तो तब होता ना अगर हम पहले से जानते हो. So we have been met for the first time and we don't have any course of dealings also. So now how the price is to be determined? So I will tell them, listen, since there has been no method of fixing the price in your contract, so B, please pay reasonable price to A. Now, what this reasonable price is a question of fact which has to be solved by the lawyer or a CA. They will see all the circumstances. They will see what product was it. If it was a television whose price has not been fixed, if it was a Sony television, I will go and check out the market price of the same Sony television. What was the inches, whether the same television has been sold. So if the price is 40,000, I will quote the same price, maybe 39,500 or 40,500, somewhere around the market price of that particular product. But I cannot, as a chartered accountant and lawyer, says that reasonable price is my choice. I will fix 5,000. You have to go and see what product it is. Now, what will be the real value of the product? So here we are not doing any valuation. So ये reasonable price बड़ा खतरनाक सी चीज होती है. इसमें आपको प्राइस पता नहीं है कितना है, बट आपको मार्केट सर्वे करना पड़ेगा. सिमिलर प्राइस उस प्रोडक्ट के ढूंढने पड़ेंगे, कॉम्पिटेटिव प्राइस फाइंड आउट करना पड़ेगा एंड वो ही प्राइस आपको डिटर्मिन कर सेलर को एंड बायर को बताना पड़ेगा. So if no method has been fixed, reasonable price, now this term will be used again and again in your law subject, reasonable word. So be very careful about this reasonable word. Reasonable basically means, you can write down, whenever the word reasonable price or reasonable time is used, whenever the word reasonable price or reasonable time is used, it is fixed on the basis of, it means the price is fixed on the basis of facts and circumstances of each case. It means prices. Yes, Abhishek, you're not very late. We are just doing the first topic only, ascertainment of price. No problem. All right. Yes, Meghna, ascertainment of price. That's correct. So it depends upon the facts and circumstances of each case. उस केस के क्या facts रहे होंगे, क्या circumstances and situations होंगी, कौन सा product था, वो सारी चीजें आप light में लेकर you will determine the price of that particular product. Clear हो गया? And bracket में लिखना, reasonable price is generally somewhere near the market price. So it is equivalent to market price of the goods. Okay. Clear hai? Now let's go to the valuation of price. Now, if the price is mentioned in the contract itself, now it is simply giving you the example. A sells his car to B for rupees 50,000. 50,000 की अब आजकल कोई गाड़ी नहीं आती है. It is only a maybe some technical toy car that you are purchasing for your child. That can still be for 50,000 rupees. But then you have to assume here the price is fixed. So whatever price has been fixed, that is the same price which has to be paid by the buyer. Now, second one is more interesting. It says he is agreeing to sell his old Maruti car for 50,000 if a new model of car does not come within a week, or for rupees 20,000 only if a new model comes up within 1 week. Now, what kind of transaction is it, children? Have I fixed the price? That's why price is very important. जब हम इस स्लाइड में तुम्हें बड़ा सिंपल लगता है कि हाँ ये क्या बताने वाली बात हुई, प्राइस तो फिक्स हो गया कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में, प्राइस फिक्स नहीं है तो हमने मार्केट प्राइस ले लिया, सिंपल बात हमें समझ आ गई. But just see the green question, the question written in the green font. It is so damn confusing. It tells you that I'm selling you the car for 50,000 if I have attached a condition. Now this if has two answers, yes or no. And when we have a contract which has the answers of yes or no, it becomes a wagering agreement. You must have read about wagering agreements in Indian Contract Act. These kind of agreements are void. There is uncertainty of price. आपने तो मुझे price बताया ही नहीं. ये क्या बात बनी कि अगर न्यू मॉडल आएगा तो 50,000, नहीं आएगा तो 20,000, तो ये तो फिर बड़ा अनसर्टेनिटी हो गई. ये तो yes and no में जब आंसर आया था, मैंने आपको बताया था ना, that is the meaning of uncertainty. Contingency is attached to it. So such kind of agreements are completely wagering agreements, void. Therefore, this is not a valid contract. You either fix the price quietly, whatever is the price, like in the question number first, red font wala, this is absolutely fine. But the second one is not acceptable. You should either tell it will be 50,000 or 20,000. You cannot attach such kind of uncertain conditions related to price of the goods. Manner of fixing the price is told. Now here, this is talking about the valuation of price. This talks completely about the getting the valuation of price by third parties. Valuation of price by third parties. So A tells that I will be selling 100 toys to B, and they agreed that the price will be fixed by C. Both of them agrees. If C is my friend, I'm Mr. A, and I told you that C will fix the price, and you are B and you're not happy with this condition, then it is not possible. Both of them agrees that yes, valuation of price will be done by C, then yes, it is absolutely fine. So if A agrees to sell to B at a price to be determined by B, this is not a valid contract because it gives the right to fix the price to one party without the consensus of other. You cannot, have you ever seen, you go to the shopkeeper's shop and the shopkeeper says, you pay me whatever you want to pay for these 10 rupees biscuit. This is not happening. Then so nobody will pay the amount which is written over there. So law says you have to fix the price. Both the parties should be agreeing to the price. So generally क्या होता है, when you go to the shopkeeper, he tells you this is for 10 rupees biscuit. If you want for 10 rupees, you will buy it. If you're looking for that 5 rupees Parle G chota wala, you will not buy it. So only if you're satisfied with the price, then only you pay for that. No? So both the parties have to agree whatever the price has been fixed. The third is price determined in the course of dealing. So I am buying 100 shares of any company in the general course of dealing. Whatever price is prevailing on the date of contract of sale of shares, that will become applicable. So you have been regular dealer in stock exchange. You have been buying and selling the shares. So हम shares कैसे purchase and sell करते हैं? जो भी rate उस दिन का होता है, उस market rate पे हम अपना contract freeze कर देते हैं. And if the price is not fixed, we will be paying reasonable price. Again, reasonable depends upon the facts and circumstances. A has ordered to supply 100 kgs of sugar without talking about the price. तो मैं भूल गई आपको, मैंने 100 kg of sugar का promise तो कर दिया, agreement भी sign कर दी, but forgot about the price. So here market price on the date of order will be taken, very important. So what will be the market price? Will you be taking the market price for today? No, ma'am. It will be the market price on which the order was placed. On the date of order, that market price will be considered. All right. Now this is nice. This is the example which we'll be doing from the study material. Here somebody is selling the bikes to S and the price was to be fixed by Q. So this is exactly the case of selling of goods at valuation. Person has delivered one bike and refuses to fix the price of the other bike. So I'll just take you in the study material and then you can just note down the answer from here. It is a very much briefing which is given in the study, but I still want to show you the content which is written over there so that the clear picture comes in front of you. Otherwise, you all keep on wondering that, ma'am, where was that question actually given in the study material? So this is your ascertainment of price topic, page number 2.11. You will open. So before that, these questions, you can give it a reading. I think we have discussed the subject matter of goods also. All these are the goods which they have mentioned. The first one is the future and existing goods. First is the existing goods he's talking about. Second is future goods. And the last one is the contingent goods. If the goods have destroyed before the agreement was made, the agreement will become void because the goods are only not existing. How can you sell those kind of things? Section 9 teaches you and talks you typically about these points, that how the price needs to be fixed. It is fixed by the manner, course of dealings between the parties, all those 3-4 points that we have discussed in the presentation. Section 10 typically talks about agreement to sell at valuation. Now, what happens where there is an agreement to sell the goods and the price is to be fixed by a third party? So A is going to sell the goods to B and the price was to be fixed by this third party, Mr. C. And C cannot make the valuation. C ne kaha, I'm so sorry, I decided to do your valuation, but I'm flying abroad and I don't have time. I will not do the valuation. Will the agreement hold valid? Yes or no? The answer is no. The agreement becomes void because now, since the price was to be determined by Mr. C, that Mr. C is only not helping us, how can we make that agreement? Provided if the goods that have been delivered are appropriated by the buyer, then the buyer must pay a reasonable price. Appropriated ka meaning apni language mein likh lo, kind of used. You know, you can say maybe used by the buyer or any other thing. He has sold them further. If I have sold the goods, I'll say, for example, A sells 100 bags of sugar to B. A has sent 100 bags of sugar to B. Okay. And this price of 100 bags of sugar was to be fixed by C. Now this B has used this sugar. He has used 50 bags of sugar out of that. And then he came to know that now this Mr. C, and he went to Mr. A, how much price I have to pay? So he said C is fixing the price. But both the parties came to know that C has refused. He cannot make the valuation. It's written over here. Na? C is refusing. C says, I cannot or does not make such valuation. Now, as per all of you, the agreement should become void because इसका तो price ही नहीं पता लगा. But law says since 50 bags you have used, Mr. B, वो तो आपने use कर ली, खा लिया आपने 50 bags of sugar या फिर केक में डाल दिया या जो भी करना था कर लिया. Appropriated means you have done something with that purchase. You have either delivered it to someone else or resold it or eaten it up, or appropriated means किसी तरीके का आपने उसका use कर दिया है. So my dear friend, please pay me reasonable price for that. One thing, half of it that you have used, you have to pay a reasonable price. All right. And where the third party, this Mr. C is only a third party, if this person is prevented from making the valuation, either by the fault of buyer or seller, then the party who is not in fault can file a case for the damages. Now, A went to C and told him that, look, although I have made an agreement with Mr. B, but don't make the valuation. क्या बोल दिया A ने C को? Don't make the valuation. So can we say that A is preventing C, A is stopping C to make the valuation? So now the agreement will become void. But law has given, section 10 has given the right to the buyer to sue Mr. A and claim the damages. Or vice versa. B went to C and he told him, don't make the valuation. I don't want to pay him money. I don't want these goods. Here, A will file a case for damages and claim those damages from Mr. B. Clear ho gaya? Let's read the analysis. Another interesting part of your modules is study has given you sections first and then they have given you the analysis in a very, very simple language. तो जो मुझे बच्चे लिख रहे हैं कि मैम हमने section पढ़ना है, analysis पढ़ना है. So if you want to just learn the simple language, you can simply read the analysis. Don't even read the sections. Children, only in CA Foundation, I'm giving you the liberty to leave the sections. In CA Inter and Final, you have to learn even the sections and you have to always write the correct section. Section 10 is talking about the determining of price by third party. If the price was to be fixed by third party and he cannot make the valuation, number 1 point लिख दोगे आप यहाँ पे, agreement becomes void. So this is the first point, that if the valuation is not done, agreement becomes void. Second point is, if the third party is prevented from making the valuation, then the party who is at fault will be liable to pay the damages. Second point हो गया damages का. Point number 3, ये आपने notes बनाने हैं जो मैंने आपके लिए notebook लगवाई है. I will not be physically meeting you to check your notebooks, but I am just trusting that my students are obeying the instructions and they will make the notes, and then only the things become simpler for you to learn. Point number 3 is, a buyer who has appropriated the goods, he must pay a reasonable price for them. So 3 points here. Point number 1, valuation to be done by third party. He fails to do it. Heading is ka agreement becomes void. Second है damages wala. If any party makes any fault, the other party can claim the damages. And the third point is, if the buyer has appropriated the goods or used the goods, he has sold them further, then he must pay the reasonable price for those goods. Now let's understand this example number 21, and इसका answer study में नहीं दिया हुआ. इसके answer के लिए you will refer to my presentation where I have written the complete analysis for you to understand. Okay. So P is having 2 bikes. P is having 2 bikes. So P is the seller. Who is P? P becomes the seller. He agrees to sell both the bikes to S. S is the buyer. At a price to be fixed by Mr. Q. So Mr. Q is the valuer. He is the third party who is fixing the price of the goods. He gives delivery of 1 bike immediately. Now P sold 1 bike immediately to Mr. S. Case number 1 is P has already sold the bike to Mr. S. And then K refuses to fix the price. Therefore, P asks S to return the bike that he has already claimed and delivered. However, S is saying, hello, give me the second bike also, because the contract was for 2 bikes. Contract was for 2 bikes and 1 bike has already been delivered. Q has refused to fix the price. So all my children learned, if the third party has refused to fix the price, the agreement will become void. Yes, I know you know the answer. But यहाँ पे झगड़ा किस बात का हो रहा है? सेलर तो कह रहा है मेरी बाइक वापस करो और वो एस कह रहा है कि मुझे दूसरी बाइक भी दो. तो अब होगा क्या इस केस में? The buyer needs to pay a reasonable price for the bike which has already been taken, and for the second bike the contract will become void. You want to see the answers from the study? You can see it from the study itself, from the presentation also. So it says P is asking S to return the bike and S is claiming for the second bike, applying the legal provisions of section 9 and section 10. Which sections are we going to apply here? We are going to apply section 9 and section 10 will be applied here of sale of goods act. It says where there's an agreement to sell the goods, price was to be fixed, it becomes void if he has not fixed the price, third party is prevented, then you're liable to damages, and if the buyer has received, then he must pay reasonable price for the goods. हमने ये 3 पॉइंट पढ़े थे. Yes मैम, हमने 3 पॉइंट पढ़े थे. तो बेटा फर्स्ट बाइक के लिए केस नंबर 1, the bike which has been delivered to Mr. S, reasonable price has to be paid. Why? Because it is falling under this condition. If buyer has received the goods, he must pay a reasonable price for them in any eventuality. Any eventuality means come what may happen. For that first bike, so you have to pay me the price because I've already delivered you the goods. And he has already taken it. And case number 2 is for the second bike, the contract will become void. Why? Because it will fall under this category. That is, if the terms on the price has to be fixed and third party has refused to do the valuation, agreement will become void. समझ आ गया? So in 2 बाइक्स के केस में, फर्स्ट बाइक के केस में रीजनेबल प्राइस पे करना है एंड सेकंड बाइक के केस में एग्रीमेंट बिकम्स void. All right, I hope everyone is clear on this. Clear हो गया सबको ये वाला point? You can give it a reading once today after the class so that you understand. And test your knowledge was already done in the previous class. Any doubts in this, you can ask me. Ascertainment of price. Understood? Good. All right, Mrs. Latha S. I hope you have understood. If you have not understood anything, Mrs. Latha, you can ask me now. Yes, it was example number 21, Miss Shri. That's correct. Ashutosh, ascertainment means where you are finding out the price, determining of the price, how you have to find the price. Mr. Manish Jain, a reasonable price depends upon many things. You cannot just say that it is for the date of the price, it is for the date of order, or it is the market price. You have to see all the circumstances of the case. Analysis have to be done, and then that reasonable price is fixed. Good, Aryan Kumar. I'm so happy that when you write, all of you, that we are making the notes every day whenever we study. That's great. Ms. Aditi Salvi, both the PPTs for Unit 1 and Unit 2 are already uploaded on the portal. You can download it from them. Kunal Jain, your answer was correct. All right, good. Kashish is also asking about the PPTs. Ritu Tiwari, thank you for confirming. I hope, please children, aaj check kar lena ek bari. Unit 1, formation of contract of sale and condition and warranties, and your test for Unit 1. 3 things have already, for batch number 6, has already been uploaded on the portal. Just go and check it over there and you can download it as well. All right. And if there is any error, I will just get it checked. Mr. Alfie Thangal, thank you so much. Contract for work and labor. Kunal Jain, if you have any question, you can ask that. Mr. Sarthak, case laws are not very important as far as CA foundation are concerned, but never write a wrong case law. If you can remember, it's well and good, you can write it. I think it is showing in the morning slot. Just check it once. Otherwise, I'll just get it rectified. I think it is in the morning slot that I've put. I'll just get it rectified in the afternoon one. Okay. All right. So this one is clear. Now we were just going to the descriptive questions. So I give you 2 minutes, all of you writing the provision. Yes, that's correct, Sunil Sharma. You have to write the correct provisions, but it's not compulsory to write the sections. Now, all of you, all the eyes and ears here, please leave the admin portal for a while. You all have to read this question. Classify the following transaction. You will not cheat and look into the answers. Study is for your comfort only. We have given you all the answers also, but I'm trusting all my students. You will not look into the answers. You will just listen to the questions and send me the answers. Following transactions according to the types of goods, you have to classify what category of goods it is. A wholesaler of cotton has 100 bales in his godown and he agrees to sell 50 bales. And these 50 bales were selected and set aside. What kind of contract it is? Tell me. Yes, you may write it in your own language, Mr. Sunil Sharma. That it is absolutely fine. Okay, Kunal Jain, just remind me this query after a while. First, just complete this one. I'm waiting for the answers for first part. Classify the category of goods. If you are taking long, that means you're looking for the answers. Okay, ascertain goods, unascertain, ascertained, unascertained, all the things that you have written. Let me show you the correct answers now, how you actually have to represent the answers. So wholesaler has 100 bales of cottons. So these are existing goods. You forgot the main category. Specific, ascertain, unascertain were part of the existing goods. What are the three broad categories? Existing, future, and contingent goods. So पहले आप ये बताओगे, these are the existing goods. Now he is agreeing to sell 50 bales, and these 50 bales are selected and set aside. So here the contract is for the sale of a certain goods as the cotton bales to be sold are identified and agreed after the formation of contract of sale. This is the type and kind of answers that you have to write in the exam. So he's agreeing to sell 50 bales of cottons, and these are specific as well as a certain. Once they are taken out, they become a certain goods. Now listen to the question carefully. This is not given over here. I am asking you, what will you call these 100 bales of cotton which are lying in his godown? What category of goods are 100 bales of cotton? Send me your answers. What is these 100 bales of cotton? It's okay, Mr. Rabesh Chaudhary. We are on descriptive questions of study. Venkat Lakshmi, the first one to give me the correct answer. Very good. All right. So I'm asking you for this. He has also written that she has written for the second one. So 100 bales of cotton of what? Absolutely correct. All of you, those who have written unascertain goods, that is wonderful because that is the large lot out of which the goods will be shortlisted. So they are unascertain. Pranay Gupta, yes, definitely they are existing goods, but now you had to tell me the category this time. So 100 bales of cotton were unascertain goods, which are lying in a huge lot bundle. And when you select 50 out of them and you keep them aside, they become the contract for the sale of ascertain goods. All right. So you must have seen the answers for the second and third also. So I'll change the question only now. Let's do this question. Question number 2. A agrees to sell B 100 bags of sugar arriving on a ship from Australia to India within next 2 months. Unknown to the parties, the ship has already sunk. Does B has any right against A under the Sale of Goods Act 1930? Yes or no? Don't look into the answers. Apply your brains and tell me what will happen in this situation. Read question number 2 and send me your answers. Yes, Abhishek, you can do that as well. Existing goods को आप unascertain में आगे define कर सकते हो, बिल्कुल ठीक. Tanmeer Kaur, Pramod, Manish Jain has sent me the answers. They have written no, he cannot take. He does not have any right. Why? Reason? Okay, RN Kumar says performance has become impossible. Niklesh PJ says it is contingent goods. All right. Shriya and Shruti says yes, he can file an action. Tanmeet says it's void. Now you're talking right, Tanmeet. Manish is also saying contract becomes void. Abhishek is also correct, ma'am. Agreement becomes void. Damages will be claimed from A. Alfie Thangal Mastan says damages will be claimed. Bharat Chaudhary saying impossible. That's correct. B has no right because these are contingent goods. Contingent goods तो हैं, but यहाँ पे आपको जो answer देना है, that you have to see very carefully. Section 7 and 8, remember, subject matter of contract of sale. Contract becomes void. Surya is correct. Venkat Lakshmi is correct. Manjunathan is still replying me a certain goods. We are on the question number 2. Swati Giri is correct. Pramod K. Mehak Roy. Kashish, Nikita, Nidhi, Bhumi. Rabish Chaudhary, it is second last page of first chapter of sale of goods. Ashutosh Pani is correct. Delivery is in process. Ashutosh, it is void, but delivery in process was not the correct answer because it has become impossible to perform. That is the correct answer. Ritu is correct. Shruti, Pratibha, Sarvesh, Purva, Joshi, Meghna Chauhan. All of you are correct, children. Now let me just discuss the answer with you, which is given over here in the study. It says B, the buyer has no right against A, the seller. So well done, those who have said no, ma'am, he does not have any right. That was the correct answer. But examiner is looking forward for a whole full-fledged answer from your side. अगर आप खाली लिख कर आ जाओगे ना, तो बड़े बच्चे मुझसे पूछते हैं, many times students ask me, ma'am, do we get marks? Had I been your paper checker, I'll definitely not give you any marks. So you have to give me you are a law student, you're a CS student, you're studying law, you are chartered accountants, future CS, you have to write proper analysis. Now, if you don't remember the section, I don't mind at all. Leave the section. तो फिर हमने कैसे लिखना होता है? As per the provisions of Sale of Goods Act. So children, if you don't know the sections, you can write down this line so that you learn it as per the provisions of Sale of Goods Act. Whenever there is an agreement to sell the specific goods and without the fault, you will write this line. There was no fault. The ship was sailing from Australia. Seller did not intentionally went and just sunk the ship. There was none of his fault, neither the buyer nor sellers. And the goods have perished, damaged, or lost, then the agreement becomes void. This is based on the basis of supervening impossibility of performance. Remember supervening impossibility, Indian Contract Act. If A agreed to sell a horse to B and the horse died the next day, can I perform the contract? No, ma'am. It has become impossible because the horse is only not there. Similarly, in Sale of Goods Act, the goods are still not there. The ship has got sunk. So now it has become impossible to complete the performance. Therefore, the contract becomes void. So you will just check that all these conditions are fulfilled. Yes, there was an agreement to sell. It is related to specific goods. Yes, it was specific goods and the goods are lost because of sinking of ship before the property or risk passes to the buyer. Very important. I have only made an agreement to sell, children. The property, the seller was still the owner. The property was yet to be passed. The risk was yet to be passed to the buyer. And the loss of the goods is not due to the fault of the parties. All these are the conditions which are given under Section 8. So if Section 8 conditions are fulfilled, then the agreement becomes void. Hence, no party can take any right against the another party. All right. Okay. Let's do one more question from here. We can also do one of the MCQs if we will not cheat the answers. All right. Voluntary transfer of possession by one person to another is popularly known as what? Question number 25. You will see on the screen, you will not see in your study material, and you have to answer me. Yes, Aryan, that was definitely correct. Sarvesh, that was the correct answer. He has already sent me the answer for this one. Voluntary transfer of possession by one person to another is popularly known as what? Transfer, delivery, possession, or none of the above. Mr. Sarvesh has sent the correct answer. What about others? Very good. Excellent. Delivery is the correct answer. That is absolutely fine. But now my question to all of you is, now listen carefully. Does the word possession means ownership? Yes or no? Does the word possession of goods has the same meaning as of ownership of goods? Yes or no? Or you can say possession is different from ownership, or possession of the goods means ownership of the goods. Yes or no? This is a different question. This has nothing to do with this question. Does possession and ownership have the same meaning, or possession is different from ownership? What is the correct answer to this one? Somebody's saying yes, somebody's saying provisions of Indian contract also. Definitely, Mr. Manish Jain, Indian Contract Act is the base for your Sale of Goods Act. I told you that's why it is very important to remember sale of goods was part of Indian Contract Act only. It was only in 1930 that the Indian Contract Act became so huge and heavy. It was loaded with so many provisions. That's why we have extracted and made a separate act for Sale of Goods Act. But all those children who ask me, ma'am, they are part of Indian contract. Yes, all the provisions of Indian contract are applicable to the sale of goods as well. Definitely, that's absolutely correct. Those who have said, ma'am, they are different, they have to be interpreted in a different manner. That's absolutely correct, children. Why they are different? Aryan Kumar has written a very nice answer. Possession is different because possession means having custody, ownership means having all the rights on the goods. I am so happy to read this answer. Well done. Great. And Soumya Ranjan, why are you saying they both are same? They are different because you have to remember bailment. I taught you about bailment. I taught you about pledge. There I was only giving you the possession of goods. Ownership means if all the rights, when I have made the complete sale, I use the word ownership of goods. Okay. Now this small test of possession and ownership, why I have taken, because when we go to the third chapter, children, it entirely revolves around your transferring of the ownership and possession. So I told you in sale of goods, we'll be dealing with different kind of words like property was general property and special property. All my students now know that sale of goods always deal with the general property of goods, not with the special property of goods. Similarly, here we Hamesha deal with the ownership of goods. If I'm just giving my phone to you and I have handed over the phone to you and you're just using it for some purpose, doesn't mean that you become owner. But you become owner if I have sold my phone to you, then you become the owner when you have paid me the price for the same. All right. Okay. So here we come to an end of the first chapter. Let's start with the second unit as well. Now, second unit is again very, very interesting topics we have in this. Conditions. I hope first chapter is absolutely clear. Anybody still left with any doubts? I give you 1 minute, just flip through the MCQs or descriptive questions, because you know what happens, children, every time when we have reached the fourth chapter, that time you come up with your queries related to MCQs of first chapter, and then it takes too long to go back and look into that. So I give you 1 minute. If you want to ask something, you can ask right now. Sunil Sharma, customs and usage. When we go to conditions and warranties, you will understand how the words have to be used. Okay. Yes, Ritu Tiwari, it definitely means the custody of goods. That was correct. Mr. Shakil Ansari, that's correct. Mrs. Latha S, your answer was also correct. Voluntary transfer. Shweta Sharma, voluntary transfer means that I am transferring the goods without any force. So it is out of my wish that I'm transferring the things and nobody's forcing me. So voluntary means out of your own sweet wish, you transfer the goods. Thank you, Mehak Roy. I'm glad you understood and enjoyed the explanation. That's great. All right. So I have read many of you have written the chapter 1 is absolutely clear. That's amazing. Rabish Chaudhary, never mind. You can just read the questions at home. And then if you have any query, you can ask me. Constructive and symbolic delivery. Alfie Thangal has asked me what is the difference between both of them. So constructive delivery and symbolic delivery are very closely related to each other. I told you in the last session also, when I'm handing over the goods, suppose you've purchased this mobile phone from me. So I'm the seller and Alfie, you are the buyer. And I gave this phone to you. That means I have done the actual delivery. I picked it up and I gave it to you and you have received it. That means actual delivery has happened. I gave you, I have given you the bill of this phone. I've given you the document of title to goods. That means symbolic delivery has occurred. Something has been done in order to make a show that the phone has been delivered to you. Now I've given the bill. You can just go on the counter and you can collect your goods. Symbolic delivery. Your phone that you have purchased from me is lying in a warehouse, and I've told that warehouse guy to hold the phone on your behalf, and he acknowledges you that, sir, your phone is with me, you can come and collect it from me. Here I've made all the arrangements. I have constructed your delivery in such a way that you have to go there and you have to collect your goods and take the bill. This kind of delivery is known as constructive delivery. Mercantile agent. Okay, mercantile agent was not, okay, crystal clear. Thank you for teaching. Okay, thank you so much, Ritu Kumari. Ashwini Prakash is saying property means ownership and not possession. Yes, he's telling me. Yes, that's correct. What is mercantile agent? Sunil Sharma is asking. Mercantile agent means a person who is selling the goods, a person who has been given the rights to sell the goods on behalf of you. Say, for example, Mr. Sunil, you are doing a cloth business in Delhi and you want to spread your business in Bombay and Pune as well. So you thought that it is very difficult to commute and, go and set up the business over there. So you hired Mr. M over there and you told Mr. M that why don't you sell the goods on my behalf in Pune? So now this person who is doing the business on your behalf on the basis of orders and instructions given by you will be known as your agent. So mercantile agent is a person who is working on the instructions of his principal. You will become principal and that person will become agent. And this agent can also pledge your goods for the purpose of business. So now if Mr. M is a mercantile agent and he needs money in this business, okay, he is actually in requirement, he need money for the business and he can go and pledge your goods with the bank and can also take a loan. But can a mercantile agent pledge your goods and take a loan for buying a house? You all have to answer me this one. This is a very interesting question. Okay, I have read all your things, children. Nikita, Venkat Lakshmi, Sunil Sharma, Mohammed Khan, everybody who has written, we have understood. That's amazing. Miss Sri S, if you have missed that definition, it was simply about the reasonable time and price is on the basis of facts and circumstances of the case. Even if you have missed it out, you can see the recorded lecture later on and you can go back and write your understanding about that. Okay. Yes, Ritu Tiwari, that is absolutely correct. Your understanding about symbolic delivery, it's absolutely fine. Okay, now children, you have to answer me this thing. I have just given a question to you that Where a mercantile agent, I told you, he can pledge your goods for the ordinary course of business. But this Mr. M, who is a mercantile agent hired by Mr. Sunil Sharma, who asked this question, he is selling the goods on his behalf in Pune, and he pledged his goods. He pledged Mr. Sunil's goods and took a loan for buying a house for himself. Can he do this? Yes, ma'am, or no, ma'am? Jaldi se batao. Yes, you have to answer me. Excellent. Lisa Jain, Sunil, Abhishek, correct. Manjunathan, Sarvesh, Aditi, Surya, Aryan. Absolutely correct, all of you. What about others? Only 7-8 answers for this one. Yes. So no, ma'am. Those who have written is the correct answer. Okay, Yash Chandak says no because he's not the owner. But when I'll go and teach you in third chapter, I will still tell you that even if he's not the owner, he can still sell the goods. But yes, you are right that he cannot pledge the goods. So Sunil Sharma is the one who has written it very nicely, and the correct answer, he says no, he can't pledge the goods. He can only pledge them for business purposes and not for the personal purposes. So this is very important. You can write down this line. A mercantile agent has the right to even pledge the goods of his principal. A mercantile agent has the right to even pledge the goods of his principal, but he can do this only for the business purpose and not for his personal use. All right. Now our chapter 1 is completely done because this small thing was left. I bought a medicine and ginger. Mr. Manish Jain, we will cover this example in the part of implied condition, so you will understand it there. And somebody has also asked me about contract for work and labor. So contract for work and labor means when I'm selling the goods, I have sold you the goods. But when I'm not selling the goods, I'm providing you certain laborer kind of services. So you have purchased the carpets from my shop and you took the carpets in your home. Now you have asked somebody to come at your home and lay down those carpets. So you have already paid for the carpets, sale was over. But if you have asked someone to come at your home and just lay down these carpets, won't you pay him some money for this kind of charges? Won't he charge for something for this labor kind of work that he has done for you? So law says this kind of contracts are specifically known as contract for work and labor. But where we did that example of Lee versus Grin, where I told you that the false set of teeth was being sold, that person was actually fighting that, I will not pay you for the goods, I will only pay you for the labor charges for fitting this teeth in my mouth. But in that very case, the court has held the decision that you also have to pay the price of teeth because this is not a contract of work and labor. Here, the contract of sale is also happening. You have purchased that entire pair of false teeth as well. So the person had to pay for both of them. Clear ho gaya? Somebody was asking about contract for work and labor also. Now almost all the queries are done. Let's immediately start with a second session now, second chapter. So here the session which is laid down for conditions and warranties, it is very, very simple, children. First of all, remember that when you have the signals to your mind that it is very simple, it becomes very easy. Mr. Shakil Ansari, your answer was also correct. Purva Joshi, that was also correct. Sometimes children just write that, ma'am, mera naam nahi liya. So I have read your answers. They are absolutely correct. Okay, good. Number one topic that we will be doing over here is stipulation as to time. This is a very, very important topic. Stipulation as to time. Hota kya hai? Time ke regarding stipulation kaise fix ho sakti hai? But before that, before even starting anything in this chapter, it's very important to know the meaning of the word stipulation. All right. Then we will be doing conditions and warranties. We will be discussing what are the cases when the conditions can be treated as warranties. This is also very important. This is something which we're going to cover today itself. And in the next two sessions, we'll be covering in detail your express and implied conditions and caveat emptor. Again, very, very, very important topic. So you can say this chapter in itself is only very important because one of the favorite of examiner, कहीं ना कहीं से कुछ ना कुछ question आ ही जाता है इस chapter में से. So caveat emptor is very important to know that buyer should be responsible for his all the purchases that he's making. Somebody was asking me right now in the query that if I have not checked the expiry date, it is your mistake. As a buyer, it is your responsibility, children, when you go to buy such things like medicines and all, which are very dangerous kind of products. So you should buy it only if the doctor has authorized you, number one. Number two, generally the sellers ask you whose doctor's prescription is that, because he cannot sell you the drugs like medicines without any prescription. And second thing, it is your duty. It is your thing that you're going to put it in your mouth. Before putting it, just check the expiry date. It's not just for the case of medicines. Even if you're buying refined flour from the shop for making cake today at your home, won't you check the expiry? आप कोई मैदा लेकर आओगे तो एक्सपायर्ड मैदा या सूजी थोड़ी ना ले आओगे, पहले डेट तो चेक करोगे ना. So these kind of things are covered under the concept of caveat emptor, where it teaches you that you should be very careful as a buyer while purchasing the goods as well. All right. So I'll just tell you about stipulation and then we'll take a small break. So stipulation, condition and warranty, जब हम सुनते हैं ना बड़ा बड़ा सा लगता है यार, ये बड़े अलग अलग से वर्ड्स आ गए एकदम से. अभी तो इट वाज सो सिंपल, प्राइस वाज बीइंग यूज्ड, गुड्स वाज बीइंग यूज्ड, एग्जिस्टिंग समझ आ गया, चलो कहीं ना कहीं से अनअसर्टेन और असर्टेन भी समझ आ गया. फिर वो शिप की सिंक करने से प्रॉब्लम हो रही थी, तो कंटिजेंसी ऑफ गुड्स आल्सो भी somehow got an understanding about that as well. But now this sudden word of stipulation has come up. What is the meaning of the word stipulation? So all of you must write down this definition. A representation which is forming the part of the contract of sale and it is affecting the contract is called stipulation. Now, before we understand what is condition, it is very important to know the word stipulation, because again and again this word is used as stipulation, which is essential to the contract is condition, which is collateral to the contract is warranty. But ma'am, stipulation hai kya? So stipulation is a word which means representations being made by the seller. So children, whenever you go to purchase something in the market, say for example, if I'm the seller and I want to sell you a sari. So you have come to my shop. I have a big, huge shop of, I'm a sari seller. I'm a dealer in saris. Don't you think that I'll always speak good about the products that they are in my shop? I will say that this sari is really looking very nice. It is very beautiful. It is very colorful. It is suiting on you. This red bright color is very good. Why don't you buy pink with, little petals on it? I will always speak good about my products. I will always do marketing. है ना? When we were small, you remember when you used to go with your mother and you really wanted to buy a packet of juice and mom will say, no, it's not good for your health, don't buy it. The shopkeeper will always say, let him buy. It's very nice. It's very healthy. You can have it once in a while because you want his sale to happen. अब तो हम बड़े हो गए ना, तो हमें पता है. जब हम छोटे थे, then that time he used to say, see, he is also asking you. You are only not buying it. So just on a lighter mode, just to take you in the real life situation, all these kind of terminologies which are being used by the seller are the representations. He's just trying to sell his products. He always uses such kind of representations for forming the part of contract. So that you can enter a contract with me. Na? So if you'll buy this sari, I'll be happy. We'll be having a contract. You'll pay me the price for that. I'll be earning profits. So there are certain representations, children, which are very important for the contract, without which the contract cannot be happen. Say, for example, you came to me and you told me that I really need a horse which can run for, 10 kilometers without stopping in an hour. So, 1 घंटे में वो 10 किलोमीटर भागता रहे. मुझे ऐसा ही horse चाहिए. So I told you my horse is very good. He runs very fast. He's very strong. Everything I told you good about as a seller of the horse. And you said that you made a stipulation. You made a point as a buyer that he should be running 10 kilometers in an hour. And I said, yes, sir. 10 क्या ये तो 12 किलोमीटर भी भाग लेगा. 10 तो छोड़िए, he will run 12 kilometers in an hour. Now, this representation which I have made as a seller on the basis of this contract was formed. You said, yes, yaar, Harleen ma'am to bada acha ghoda bech rahe hai. 12 kilometers in an hour he's going to run. I will buy this. I to only wanted him to run for 10 kilometers in an hour. He's running for 12 kilometers. I am definitely going to buy this horse, and we both entered into a contract. So law says such kind of stipulations on the basis of which we formed a contract, such kind of representations on the basis of which we formed the contract are known as stipulation. अब ये 10 kilometer, now this 10 kilometer stipulation was a condition or warranty. I will tell you about this after the break. तो वो कहते हैं ना, पिक्चर अभी बाकी है दोस्त, अभी सिर्फ इसको दिमाग में घुमाओ, स्टिपुलेशन जो मैंने बताया है, read its definition from the study material, and we take a small break here and then we will continue the session. Thank you. All right, welcome back, students. I hope you all are here now. Thank you, Ritu Tiwari and Sunil Sharma. That's nice. All right. So I hope you all have read about R.N. Kumar is asking eventually. Eventually means later on, if the things happen, what will happen that time. So I hope you have read the definition of stipulation, and now we'll be covering how that stipulation is going to be part of your condition or it is going to be a warranty. But before that, we will do a very important topic, that is stipulation as to time. All of you have understood what is stipulation now. We know that all the representations which the seller is making an effort made by him by using all those terms to sell the goods is a kind of a stipulation. Now, many a times there is a stipulation related to timing of the delivery of goods as well. All right. Yes, you can say that also. All the appreciation given by the seller, or all the comments, all the representation, whatever the statements he's using in order to make the sale effective is a stipulation. But these are the representation. But there are certain representations which are very important, that becomes your stipulation. So general meaning हमें समझ आ गया सबको. अब टाइम वाला भी बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है. Say for example, okay, Shruti Pathak. Say for example, it's Shruti Pathak's birthday today, and she has placed an order for cake. So that is also sale of goods. Cake is a movable goods. Yes, ma'am. Seller is important in sale of goods. Yes, ma'am. Seller is very important. She went to the seller and she did a booking. So Shruti is buyer also, and we have a seller. Let's make seller Mr. Abhishek. So Mr. Abhishek Vishwakarma is the seller. He is baking the cake, and Shruti Pathak is the buyer. So seller is also buyer. Seller is also important. Buyer is also important in sale of goods, and she has agreed to pay a price also. So हमारा proper contract sale of goods बन गया. Now, do you think timing is also very important? She has placed an order for a birthday cake, and it's a birthday tomorrow. Let's assume that it's a birthday tomorrow. And she said that please deliver the cake by 5 p.m. tomorrow. Now, do you think that Mr. Abhishek Vishwakarma is bound to deliver the goods by tomorrow? If not 5:30, maybe by 6:30 or maybe by 4:30. He's bound to deliver the goods tomorrow or not? So definitely birthday is tomorrow, birthday cake hai. If Abhishek delivers the goods day after tomorrow, is Shruti bound to accept it? Is she bound to accept it? Very good, Adishri, Shruti, Pramod, Venkat Lakshmi, Kashish, all of you are correct. Yes, the time was important here. But if Abhishek delivered the goods day after tomorrow, is Shruti bound to accept the cake? Absolutely not. Aisha, Nabeen, Shrishti, Manish, Surya, Kashish, absolutely correct, children. Aishwarya, all of you are correct. Kashish. Why no, ma'am? Because here the stipulation as to time was very, very important. It's your birthday cake. It's your birthday time. How can you have somebody delivering your birthday cake after your birthday has gone? I will definitely reject that. Here the time was a important condition. So examples लिख के रख लेना, birthday cake or a wedding cake or a wedding dress. It's my wedding tomorrow and I have placed an order for a nice lehenga and he is delivering me the lehenga day after tomorrow. मेरा तो पर्पस ही खत्म हो गया ना. पहले आपने स्टिपुलेशंस करी कि बहुत अच्छा लहंगा है मैम, बहुत बढ़िया, आप खरीदिए हमारी दुकान से, प्लीज परचेज इट, एंड ऑल द वर्ड्स ऑफ एप्रिसिएशन एंड फॉलिंग फ्रॉम हेवन वर थ्रोन एट मी एंड आई मेड एन एग्रीमेंट विद दैट सेलर. And today was the day of wedding. He has to deliver it. He is bringing that lehenga tomorrow. Am I bound to pay for that? I will not at all pay for that. That is completely a void agreement. I can refuse to accept, because in such cases, the stipulation as to time is usually the essence of the contract. It becomes very, very important. So here a law says generally time is not very important. अच्छा, अगर मैंने बर्थडे केक ना करा होता, श्रुति हैज जस्ट प्लेस्ड एन ऑर्डर फॉर केक जस्ट फॉर एंजॉयिंग एट होम. शी वांटेड टू हैव अ स्वीट डिश एंड दैट पर्सन फॉरगॉट दैट डे एंड ही केम अप नेक्स्ट डे. then it is up to your mood whether you want to accept it or not. There was not certain condition of birthday kind of situation. Or maybe you have ordered a pair of shoes for yourself and you did the online purchase and the person said, I'll be delivering the goods after 5 days. But the goods, instead of 5 days, the goods came after 7 days. Are you bound to reject the goods? You will not reject the goods. It's okay unless and until that person has given you the valid reason. Maybe there was some strike or some national holiday has come in between, or he was not well, or the manufacturer from which the goods had to come, they were not ready. So such kind of delay is acceptable. So delivery of goods can be made with delay in that cases, but where time is a sense, you cannot make any delivery. So it says stipulation as to time of payment deemed to be the essence unless the contract states otherwise. So if your contract has stated that it should be made without any delay and it is important event or important happening like a birthday, anniversary or a wedding, or it's a wedding lehenga, aise kind of examples, or you are a dealer who has to sold the goods further and the person is only flying the next day, you will not be able to sell the goods. Certain essence wali jo baatein hai na jahan pe time ek condition ban jata hai, wahan pe stipulation as to time has to be seen whether the delivery was made within time or not. And if such delivery is made with delay and it has been postponed, person has not received the goods on time, he can reject the goods. All right, clear ho gaya sabko? Let's move ahead. Stipulation as to time, just give it a fair reading from your study material also. It's very, very simple. So stipulation not relating to time of payment, but relating to time. So we have already understood if the time is the essence, we have to see, but not related to time of payment. हो सकता है payment आपने पहले ही कर दी. You have already made me the payment, so it's okay. Payment was not an issue, but timing was an issue in that. Clear, stipulation as to time is clear, meaning of stipulation is clear. Now we're going to understand the stipulation is a condition or it is a warranty. What kind of stipulation it is. So a condition is a stipulation which is essential to the main purpose of the contract. So if the condition that if the terms that I'm using are very, very important for forming a contract, then that kind of stipulation will become a condition. So if that condition is breached, what is the meaning of breach? If it is not fulfilled, then the buyer gets the right to cancel the contract. Repudiated means to cancel the contract. You can write down the meaning. Repudiated means to cancel the contract. So if the condition is such a stipulation which is essential, which is very important for the main purpose of the contract, then if that condition is not fulfilled, I have the right to even cancel the contract. I will not only just be claiming the damages, but I can also repudiate the contract. Repudiate means to put an end to the contract, to cancel the contract. Or if it is a stipulation was collateral. Collateral means it is somehow related. It is not very essential. It is not very important, but it is related to the contract. For example, you're buying a car. So you have told him that the car should give me a great average. So the car is giving you an average of, 14 or 16, but the horn of the car is not working. There is some manufacturing defect in the car. So will this defect be a part of condition? Loss is chota mota agar defect hai, kuch error hai, so that is related part to the contract that will be counted as a warranty. But here, if you have told me the car should be giving an average of 14 and it is just giving you an average of 7, then the condition is not fulfilled. Please go and return that car. But if the horn is not working or the music system is not very nicely designed, it is not as per your choice, then these kind of replacements and repairs will fall under the category of warranty. And if this warranty is breached, it is not fulfilled, then you have the right to claim the damages, but you cannot reject the goods. You cannot simply get up and reject the goods because the horn of the car is not working. There is certain manufacturing defect. Now I don't want to use this car. This cannot be done. All right. So condition is a stipulation essential to the purpose of contract, and warranty is something which is related to the purpose of contract, but it is not essential. For example, A went to B and he said, I need a washing machine which is fit for washing woolen clothes. Now, children, do you think a condition has been attached over here? If B gives you a machine which is not washing woolen clothes, and this Mr. B, he put his clothes in the machine and woolen clothes in the machine, and all the clothes got toned. हट गए सारे कपड़े. Do you think there has been a breach of condition? Yes or no? If A went to B and he asked him that I want a washing machine which can wash woolen clothes, and now this washing machine, when he used this, the clothes got torn out. What can we do in this case? Is it a breach of condition? Yes or no? Mr. Tejas Patel is asking me 30th MCQ of Unit 1. Okay, don't worry. I'll just take it in a while. Mr. Tejas, just remind me about this 30th MCQ around 3:45 or 3:50, so that when we are ending up the chapter, we'll just open it up. Okay. Yes, it is a breach of condition. Excellent, Sarvesh, Aisha, Shweta, Bharat, Ritu, Manish, Lisa Jain, Gufran, Swati Giri, Abhishek, Purva, Farheen, Venkat Lakshmi, Alfie Thangal, Arun Kumar, Shruti, Manjunathan, all of you are correct. Yes, Arun says he can return the goods and also claim the damages from the seller. Excellent. Why? Because it is a breach of condition. I told you I need a machine, should be washing the woolen clothes, and now it is not washing the woolen clothes. Please take it back. It is a breach of implied condition and I will not accept it. Also, the seller is bound to pay back his money. He has the right to return the goods also, cancel the contract, and his money should also be paid back. But in the second example, if machine is washing the woolen clothes and this one of the button of machine, it just came out. It just popped out. And now it has become very difficult to operate it. It is washing woolen clothes. Yes, it is fulfilling the condition. It is absolutely working very nice. It is even saving your electricity and other things taken care of. But this button of the machine has popped out. It has come out. There was certain manufacturing defect kind of thing in this machinery. What can we do now? What it will be considered as? Can I go and return the machine just because the button has broken out? What is kind of breach code known as? Tanmeet, Nabin, that was correct. Yashraj, Nitul, Soni, that was absolutely correct. Kashish, Mehak, all of you are correct. Now tell me the second case. What will be your answer? Will it be a breach of condition? Can you just go and return the machine because the defect has occurred, the button has popped out? Excellent, all of you who have said, no, ma'am, it is not breach of condition. Then what will I do? Do I have certain rights? Yes, ma'am, B has the right to claim the damages because this kind of breach will be considered as breach of warranty. It will be considered as breach of warranty. It can be repaired or replaced. Therefore, he can only claim the damages in this case and he cannot return the goods. समझ आ गया सबको? Very good. All of you have sent the correct answer. So this is the basic example which you have to really learn to remember so that you never forget what is condition and warranty. Simpler. So we have to purchase so many things today in this class. Washing machine is done, and before that we were having birthday cakes. And now let's move to the cars. So R consulted as a car dealer for suggesting him the car which is suitable for touring purposes. So now, children, he bought this smart dashing car, but he needed for touring purposes. He's into traveling business. He travels a lot. He has to go up hills. He has to go into the plains also, plateau region also. So he travels a lot. But then this car dealer has given him a car which was not actually suitable for touring. He was not very happy with the car. The purpose was not fulfilled. Then this R simply went to S and he returned his car because it is known as breach of condition. I told you the very purpose why the car is needed, and now you have not fulfilled my condition. Therefore, R has a right to return the goods and claim his money back. However, R buys the car and experiences manufacturing defects in certain parts. कार सीट ठीक नहीं है, टायर्स ठीक नहीं है, टूल सेटअप ठीक नहीं है, कोई मशीनरी ठीक से नहीं लगी हुई है, कोई मैट्स ठीक से नहीं लगे हुए हैं, कार कुशंस देने थे and those cushions are still not there and the cushions are torn, the seats covers are torn out. Such certain kind of manufacturing defects of certain parts is occurring. It will be simply treated as warranty, breach of implied warranty, which can be repaired, or you can claim the damages for the same. Clear ho gaya? So washing machine and car, two examples we have done, nicely understood their conditions and warranties, both the parts. So condition and warranties, the points of differences. First, you will write the difference in the definition. The stipulation is essential to the main. It is very important. Without that condition, you cannot make the contract. And warranty is only collateral. It is only related to the contract. So if you have made a contract and you are not satisfied with the main essential, you have the right to repudiate, means to cancel and claim damages. However, in case of warranty, you can only simply claim the damages. Now let us go in the study material. Just give me a second. I'll open your study as well. So you all have to open Unit 2, Sale of Goods. Conditions and warranty. So this is your major difference point. It has given in a very nice tabular form in your study material. Just learn it. Stipulation as to time, section 11 has also been done. You can simply read the analysis. You can cut off this point. You can leave this definition of section 11. You can simply learn this analysis which is given over here. That's it. After that, in conditions and warranties, you simply have to learn this definition, section 12 mein jo di hui hai. Now this example, let us understand with the examples given in the study. P wants to purchase a car from Q which can have a mileage of 20 kilometers per liter. So हमने 14-16 की average निकाली थी. He is saying 20 kilometers in 1 liter. And Q is purchasing this car and Q said that this car really suits you. Now, do you understand how the seller is making the stipulation? He's saying this really suits you. And P finds and buys this car and later on the mileage dropped down to 15 kilometers. Now here the breach of condition has occurred because the mileage was a stipulation which was essential for forming the contract. Here he has imposed a condition. Okay, children, now let me ask you a question. If you were P and you have went to the shopkeeper Q and you just said that I want to buy a white color item. Okay, you were P and you went to Q and you said you want to buy a white color i10 and you just checked out the car and you purchased everything and nothing else you have mentioned. Now you thought that the car will be giving a mileage of 20 kilometer and it only gave you 15 kilometer. Can you go and return the car? Yes or no? You said that it should be a white i10 and you were satisfied with everything, but you never told him about the mileage and the mileage turned out to be lower than what you thought. Can you now return the car? Yes or no? Tell me. Do you have the right to return the car? And if yes, why? If no, why? Because our condition was only white color i10 car. Mr. Nabeen Kushwaha. Absolutely correct. All those who have written no, ma'am, that's correct. Miss Purva Joshi, why did you say yes? Gufran also say yes. Why yes? I never imposed any condition. My only condition was I want a white i10. So these things have to be read very beautifully. Here he has said that which have a mileage. If you have asked, if you have imposed a condition, then only it becomes an important condition. Aisha Sood has also given a valid reason. That's correct. Very good. Mehak Roy has also written, I can only claim for damages or low mileage. Okay, that also you can do if it was somewhere mentioned that it will be giving a mileage, but it is not. Definitely, Mehak Roy, you can claim the damages on the behalf of breach of warranty. Nice. And what is a warranty? Because it was a warranty, something related to the main purpose of contract. That also you can do if it is not at all running well at all. Then you can still think about. But at least it should be mentioned. These kind of conditions are known as express condition. लिख लो इसमें study में. This is known as express conditions, where you are speaking it out and telling them that this is what I want. It is known as express conditions. What is the meaning of warranty? Warranty is something related to the main purpose of the contract, which gives the right to only claim the damages, and you cannot reject the goods. Let us read the interesting example of warranty as well. Ram consults Shyam and tells him that I need a car which is suitable for touring purposes, and he suggests Maruti is very nice. But later on, the car turned unfit for the touring purposes. Here it is a condition, non-fulfillment of it. He can have the right to reject the car and refund of the prize money. But let us assume, now again, he's also assuming like we assume. He buys a new car and the car is guaranteed against the manufacturing defect under the normal usage for 1 year. So उसने बोला 1 साल के लिए we are giving you guarantee. Any manufacturing defect, we can do the replacement. So after 6 months, the horn was not working. Can he terminate the contract? No, he cannot, because all the conditions were very well fulfilled. Now he can just go and get the replacement and repair done. Clear hai? Differences also you have read. You can read from the study material as well. We have also covered the differences between conditions and warranties. Now let us move to a very, very important topic, that is when the condition can be treated as warranties. There can be certain cases. The video went off. Is it visible, children? Yes. There can be certain cases where the condition, that means the right of repudiating the contract or cancelling the contract, can only be given as a claim of damages. You have given up your right, that you said that, look, I don't want to treat my condition as breach of condition. I only want to treat it as warranty. Now again, 2.3, you will leave this. This is only the bare clauses, bare sections from the act which is written. You can straight away come to the analysis and you can read it from here. It is the same simplified language of the sections given above. Section 13 says when the breach of condition can be treated as breach of warranty. Now, before we read section 13, let us understand why there is need of section 13. Say you are my buyer and I am the seller, and I sold you 100 of Pro-Bot water bottles. Okay, I have sold you 100 of Pro-Bot water bottles. There was a contract for these water bottles. Now, you as a buyer, you have become so, there was certain defect. There is the problem in color. You have ordered for the blue color and I have given you all the pink water bottles. But you have become so attached with the goods that you said that, okay, Harleen ma'am did not deliver us the goods of our choice. I'm not going to leave her. I will definitely claim the damages, but I'm so fond of the goods that I don't want to return them back. I'm somehow liking the goods so much that I don't want to treat it as breach of condition. क्योंकि अगर breach of condition होगा फिर तो आप goods भी वापस दे दोगे and refund ले लोगे, price यही होता है. This is what we just understood in breach of condition, that you return the goods and you claim the price money back. But many a time the buyer becomes so attached to the goods, he says that, okay, fine, I'm happy even if the condition is not fulfilled, but I'll definitely charge you for the damages. In those cases, section 13 becomes applicable. Okay? अब पढ़ते हैं. So section 13 tells out what are those cases where you can treat this breach of condition as breach of warranty. Hence, the buyer will not end the contract. He will only claim the damages. A contract is not avoided, means you will not be cancelling the contract. What is the first case? Number one, where the buyer altogether waives the performance of the condition. Waives का मतलब होता है give up. Waive means to give up. If you are the buyer, you have just given up your right. A party may, for his own benefit, waive a stipulation. It can be a voluntary waiver by the buyer. Just the example that I gave you right now, that you have become so fond of the water bottles, even if the condition of blue color was not fulfilled, but you just gave up. You said, okay, I'm fine with the goods. I don't want to treat it as breach of condition. Simple. Or the second is also similar to this. The first and second are almost similar. Buyer chooses to treat the breach of condition as breach of warranty. Buyer खुद ही कह रहा है कि I will only claim the damages and he does not want to part of it the goods. He has not waived the condition, but he has decided to treat as breach of warranty. So number one, you either waive off your condition, you have given it up, okay, fine. I am waiving off my condition. Now there is no longer a condition of blue water bottle only. I am satisfied with pink also, but I will charge you for the warranty. Or second can be, he has specifically told you that I want to treat this breach of condition as breach of warranty and I will be claiming damages. However, I will not be cancelling the contract and I will not return the goods. So these first two category were the voluntary waiver, where the buyer waives the performance or wants to treat the breach of condition as breach of warranty. Simple ho gaya. Another 2 points are compulsory waiver. Here, there is no choice. Buyer has to waive off the breach of condition. He has to give up his right of breach of condition. He can only treat it as a breach of warranty. Now, what happens? There was a contract which is non-severable. What happens is a contract which cannot be separated. Non-separable ko likh lo, which cannot be separated. Which cannot be separated. I don't know how it looks. The letters are just dancing here and there. If the contract cannot be separated, the buyer has accepted either whole of it or any part of it. Acceptance means acceptance defined in section 72 of the Indian Contract Act. So section 72 tells you what is the exact meaning of acceptance, where you have taken the goods in your custody, you have accepted them. So say, for example, a seller has sold the goods to the buyer and there was a sale of basmati rice to be made. And now you have sent me basmati rice and you have mixed certain, inferior quality rice also in that. Now it is very difficult to separate the contract. Can you sit and you can figure out which is the basmati and which is non-basmati? बहुत टाइम लग जाएगा. आई थिंक दिन क्या महीने लग जाएंगे कि हम एक एक चेक करें उसको एंड देन वील जस्ट फाइंड आउट हाउ वी हैव टू डू इट. ओके, सो दिस इज नोन एज ब्रीच ऑफ condition. You have breached my condition. It is very difficult to rectify this kind of error. You have told me that you will be sending me only basmati rice and you have mixed the inferior quality rice. I cannot separate the contract now, but it has become very difficult for me if I have accepted the contract. Now let's say that you cooked that rice and it really turned out to be good. students? I hope you all can see me now. I think some network error has occurred and everything just got freezed. Please just revert me, children, if you can hear me now and you can see me now. All right. Let's continue further now. All right. Thank you so much for confirming that you can see me, you can hear me now. Thank you, children. Fingers crossed, network error can happen anytime. So I hope you are saved. All right. So all the conditions are clear. The 4 places where you can just waive off the conditions, 2 were the voluntary ones and 2 were the compulsory ones. And in those, if your condition is, okay, right, we were doing the 3rd one, right? Acceptance of only part of the goods. So if you have accepted the part of the goods and the contract was not divisible, here you are bound to accept the contract as breach of warranty. You can only claim the damages and it will not occur as a breach of condition. On the other side, if the contract is divisible, say for example, I have sent you 2 bags of basmati rice and 1 bag of inferior quality. So here the contract is divisible, right? You can reject the balance goods. So there you can reject the remaining goods, otherwise need to accept the remaining part. Then you must accept your the part which is according to your basmati, that you will accept, and other goods you can simply reject those goods. But where you have accepted part of the goods and the contract cannot be divided, there you can only claim the damages. You can refer to your study material for that example, which is given over there. It says A has agreed to supply 10 bags of first quality sugar at the rate of rupees 625 per bag. However, the price of which is, but he has also supplied second quality sugar and that price was only 600 per bag. Here the breach of condition has occurred and you ask me how the damages are to be claimed. So whatever is the difference between the price, that is rupees 25 per bag, can be claimed as damages by the buyer. All right. So if such kind of contract occurs where the contract is not divisible, it is not separable, and you have accepted either you reject the goods completely, that is your choice. But that is what we are understanding now. We don't want to reject the goods. We want to treat the breach of condition as breach of warranty. You accepted those goods, those rice, and then you claim the damages. Fulfillment of any condition or warranty which is excused by the reason of law, by impossibility or otherwise. Now, what happens if the things have become impossible to perform? Say, for example, the same example that I told you, that I'll be selling you the horse and that horse has died. Now, what kind of return are you talking about? There is no breach of condition, even of warranty is not there. But sometimes by law, the conditions happen. Like if I have told you that I'll be selling you a certain type of drug, but now that drugs have got banned in the market. Drugs, by drugs, I mean medicines, children. So you have asked for a certain kind of medicine, and in the medicines, we use certain kind of strong kind of drugs to heal the body. And now that drug has been stopped coming in the market, that medicines cannot be made. Now you can only claim the damages. You cannot say that I want to cancel the contract for other reasons. Here, the breach of condition has to be treated as breach of warranty. Even the non-fulfillment of warranty is excused. Or I had made a contract with you to deliver the goods by plastic bags, and now the government is taking so many steps and plastic bags have been completely banned up. So I cannot use those kind of bags. So here the breach of condition will be treated as breach of warranty because it has become compulsory by the way of law. Clear? So the first 2 are voluntary waivers and the second 2 are the compulsory waivers. Now, after that, we move ahead to your express conditions and implied conditions. What is the meaning of express and implied? Let me ask all of you first. You have understood about the express contract, express implied contracts also. So just tell me what is the meaning of express contract and implied contracts. Before we move ahead for the express conditions, you have to tell me the meaning of express and implied. What do you understand by that? Thank you so much, children, for confirming that the screen is visible, the voice is clear. Thank you so much. All those Meghna, Sunil, Ayushi, Nitil, Tamanna, thank you so much. Yes, what is the meaning of expressed and what is the meaning of implied, children? You know it, you have studied about it. So expressed means to speak and form a contract. Implied means something which is clear from your action. Yes, Naveen says white color was express condition. Beautiful. That's absolutely correct. Shreya says express means speech or written. Implied means neither of them. Okay. Expressed by words, implied by conduct. Manish Jan, that's correct. Breach of condition, we reject, and breach of warranty. Yes, Manish Jan, that is also correct. Okay. So children, you should write it down. I don't know whether you know the meaning of express or implied. Expressed means by words spoken or written. The contract which is made by words spoken or written is known as express contract. Contract made by words spoken or written is known as express contract. And the meaning of implied means which is formed by the conduct of parties. Implied means contract formed by the conduct of parties. Okay, now let me just waken you up a little bit because it's afternoon, evening turning out, and many times you start falling asleep also in law. तो जो लोग सो गए हैं थोड़ा उनको कॉफी पिलाकर जगाते हैं. So here's a very interesting example coming for you. So you went to the shop and you asked him that I want to purchase a coffee mug, and you told him that it should have this kind of handle and white color. Can we say you are imposing express conditions because you are speaking out the words? And you're telling him the things? Good, Nidhi Yadav. Now I've received your answers, children. Purva, Meghna, all of you. Now it's coming. Aryan, Nikita. Correct. Samina Abdul Hakim, that is absolutely correct. Okay, listen carefully now. So these are the express conditions. I'm telling him that this is the kind of mug that you have to give me. And he gave me the similar kind of coffee mug that I desired for. Now, second thing is very interesting. You went to a cafe shop to have a cup of coffee. And you told him by touching at the menu that get me this cappuccino. And you had your nice cappuccino coffee in the cafe. And then you just got up and you said, I have my class with the Halim ma'am. I have to go and study law. And you went out of the cafe. Do you think you have to pay for the coffee that you have enjoyed over there? Yes, ma'am, or no, ma'am? Yes, ma'am, definitely we'll pay for the coffee. But do you think there is need of forming a contract by speaking out the words? Isn't it implied that you're sitting in the cafe and you're ordering a cappuccino and he has delivered it to you and you have sipped your coffee? Now it is your legal as well as moral duty to pay to that person. Because it becomes an implied contract. Meghna, you're talking about this one as expressed. This is completely an implied contract formed by our conduct or behavior. Yes. Absolutely. Aisha Sood says, yes, we'll have to pay for the coffee. That's correct. So awaken all of you. Manish Jain, that's correct. Implied contract. Miss Siri S, that's absolutely correct. Shreya Modi says there is no need of contract. So this is just for understanding what is the meaning of implied contract. There is no need. There is definitely a need of implied contract because then you'll not pay me now. So you have to pay if you have such kind of things. Similarly, you must have seen the examples when a coolie picks up your luggage in the railway authorities at the railway station. Then he's not asking for money, but that is implied by his conduct that you have to pay him if you have not stopped him. So all these kind of, somebody has written mere silence by acceptance, that is also correct. Yes, we are in the contract by conduct of sitting, Mr. Nabeen. That is also definitely correct. So everyone is now very clear in their mind what is express and what is implied. Similarly, express conditions, when I've told you I want this white i10 car, that is express. Implied condition, I've come to purchase a car. I purchased a car and the car doesn't work. There's an implied condition that it should be working, it should be moving. When I'll put the keys or when I'll keep the keys, whatever is the latest technique or model that I have, it should be working. I have purchased a pen from your shop and this pen does not write. Do I have to tell you that I have come to your shop to buy this Swarovski pen and it's very nice, it's very beautifully designed, but it does not write? What is the purpose of a pen? Pen should be used for writing. Pen is to be used for writing, right? not just for putting it here in your head. It is not something that you have to just put it as an accessory. It should be used for writing. So there is an implied condition. It has not to be spoken out that you have to tell him that I need a pencil for writing. I need a pen for writing. I need a paper on which I can write. These are the all implied conditions जो कि बोली नहीं जाती हैं, assume करी जाती है कि contract में, for example, condition as to description. If I've given you the description that these kind of goods I want, then they should comply with the description that I've given to you. All right, so we just have 5 minutes left. I think let's jump to the MCQs because I thought Shweta Sharma says, ma'am, coffee was delicious. That's good. So, because if I start with condition as to title, it will take a little longer. And if I'll just hurry up, then you'll not understand. So let's go to the MCQs. Few MCQs we can do. And also that question number 30 MCQ somebody has asked, I'll take up that as well. Okay, let's test your knowledge. Breach of condition gives the aggrieved party a right to sue for damages, a right to repudiate the contract, both A and B, or none of these. What will be the correct answer? Tell me. Yes, Nidhi Yadav, fully example is an implied contract. That is absolutely correct. Manish Jain, your answer is wrong. Venkat Lakshmi, your answer is wrong. Bhumi Bhimani, your answer is wrong. Read the question carefully, children. Shriya is right. Pramod is right. Nidhi is right. Surya Kumari is right. All those who have given the options, Sunil Sharma, Aryan, correct. Manjunathan is correct. Tamanna is correct. Swati Giri, absolutely wrong. Shweta, wrong. Tanmeet is correct. So nice, children. Many of you have given the correct answer. Kashish, you are wrong. I don't know why you have chosen a wrong answer. So the correct answer is breach of condition gives you the right both to sue for the damages as well as to repudiate the contract, children. I'm not just cancelling the contract. I can also file a case for damages. I can claim my money back also, and I will also claim the damages. Did you see in this one? Breach of condition and breach of warranty. Let me show you once again. To repudiate or claim the damages both. However, in warranty, you are only claiming the damages. So you claim your money also back and you claim the damages also. Yes, Miss Mehak Roy, that's absolutely correct. Samajh gaye, all of you? Clear now? Let's understand it further. Let's go to the next MCQ. Conditions and warranties. Why this color is not going back? Conditions and warranties may be in the form of expressed, implied, both, or none of them. Jaldi batao. Conditions and warranties may be in the form of expressed, implied, both, or none of these. A, B, C, or D, which is the correct? Okay, Miss Kashish, that's correct. Absolutely correct. This one was very simpler. Conditions and warranties can be both. That is, they can be expressed and they can be implied as well. All right. So since we are running short of time and I really want to complete that particular MCQ also today itself so that it's not taken forward. So let me quickly take you to that 30th MCQ. Okay, Unit 1, 30th MCQ. Okay, in case the delivery of goods is delayed due to the fault of party, the goods shall be at the risk of defaulting party even though the ownership is with the other party. Now, this is very, very interesting, children, but this particular question is actually related to your chapter 3 also. So it will be difficult for you to answer this exclusively on this basis. Let us complete chapter 3 also, and then you will understand. Okay, as of now, I'll just explain you, but you can write it out somewhere. It is related to your chapter 3, that is transfer of delivery of the goods as well. So it says, if I was to deliver you the goods and due to my fault, I have not delivered you the goods on time, the goods will be at the risk of me, even if the ownership has passed. The answer is absolutely correct. True. I will be liable, no? If I am the seller and I had to sell you the goods and I made a fault in, I made a delay in delivery and the goods got destroyed now, who will bear the risk? I will bear the risk, even if the ownership is with you, because it is due to my fault. So in such cases, we have to see who is the defaulting party. That party will be bearing the risk of loss. Clear? So I hope all your doubts are covered and everybody has understood clearly. Thank you, Pramod K. Thank you, Akshay Kumar. Okay, Gufran, no worries. It's correct. It's fine. I know that you knew the answer by mistake you have sent. Thank you, Ritu Tiwari. She says, I have understood chapter 1 very well now. Thanks a lot. So thank you to you as well. And 30th A has been given the answer. Very nice that you all knew the answer. That's good. Tamanna, Sunil, Akshay, everyone. Thank you, children. All right. Thank you, children. Revise your work, go through the MCQs, and we'll be completing conditions and warranties on Friday. And let me just check out at the admin level why the presentations are not visible to you. All the presentations of first and second chapter will be visible to you today. All right. And also there is a test of MCQ Unit 1. Do that as well. All right. Thank you, children. Goodbye.